Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another POV commentary. So as I said, these are pretty good to do. That I'm actually starting to play a little bit more on the Huzzy account. This is actually still before the holiday. I'm playing a little bit more off stream because I've mentioned it a bit. It is a lot harder to climb when you're streaming, and I think most people get it. You know, you're distracted by the chat, you've got other things going on where everyone in the game against you are fully concentrating, or at least most of their concentration is going on the solo queue game. So, and by the way, it's fairly common that, you know, big streamers like the Bows or Broxer and stuff like that, they kind of maintain while they're on stream, but their actual big climbing peaks actually happen off stream. And obviously, naturally, I've never really done this. I've always climbed just on stream. You know, when I've been master several times, I just play on stream and still do it. But obviously, it goes without saying we're in a bit of a dip at the moment, so to try and escape the dip, maybe playing off stream is a good thing to do. So we're playing Volibear again. Our Jax died, and I think very soon, I actually noticed, by the way, I'm guessing, again, we have a Baus FFS enjoyer in our top lane, that he has got Phase Rush, starting Doran's Ring, and yes, he is going AP Jax. It's not a great thing to do. You know, Jax is actually a pretty damn strong champion at the moment in the meta of top lane, so then taking Jax and fundamentally kind of doing it's a cheese way of playing him, but a kind of weaker way of playing him overall is just kind of, it weirds me out. We're playing Volibear. Really nice leash by my bot lane there. We have a Draven and a Janna. We have a Silas mid lane, Volibear top, and obviously, yeah, the Jax top lane. And then I'm putting in chat, is he going the int AP and, you know, the int AP build? It's not, by the way, supposed to int. It's the reason why a lot of people call it the int AP build is because it's fundamentally really weak in the early game. So they don't want to die. They just end up dying a lot. Hilariously, and again, I'm not going to just sit here and just say not. It isn't. It is a good scaling build. Jax has kind of interesting AP ratios. So yeah, eventually it actually can do quite a bit of damage. But usually by the time you get to that point, you're not ahead of your opponent. And then they're usually quite strong because of it. So obviously we'll see how it goes. Volibear though, obviously this is pre-patch technically of me playing this. So he has had some nerfs since this game is being uploaded. The nerfs aren't going to be catastrophic. And by the way, I noticed that the enemy jungler ganks bot lane. So what I just decided to do, and I think it's a smart thing. Yes, I could have continued to my red, but it's always good to deny others. And buffs are really important, right? So unfortunately, my Draven does go down, which sucks. But I am going to just fundamentally deny the blue, which I like to do. And some junglers may have continued to get another camp here or there. I don't like taking that risk, so I'm just taking the blue, take the buff, go back to my red, finish the clear. Now, this game hasn't started well, and if you watched my Ivan game, this, I think, was the night after the game that we had that Draven who, you know, yes, got fed, but was very toxic and made a game pretty hard. So I think I have some, you know, without trying to diminish the name of it, but like PTSD from Draven. Obviously not to that extent, but I was a bit like, oh god, we've got another Draven that's losing the early game. Here we go. Or another Draven in general. But yeah, we start the game 4-0 down. Nocturne finishes off that over there. So I'm going to just make my way over. Obviously, I have taken his blue. So him getting one scuttle, it's kind of fine. And as long as I get this scuttle over here, you know, we're still technically ahead when it comes to jungle clear. So team comp-wise, our comp's not bad in any regard. I actually missed the E, which is quite funny. Yeah, our comp's not bad. Our pressure's pretty good. You know, the thing that I actually would say I like about the Volibear and Draven synergy is Volibear starting at level 6, where his tempo starts to build. I think is actually a really good pairing as a jungler for Draven, because Draven naturally should be doing good in the early game, and they would want to like probably pressure and tower dive. So the fact that I'm a Volibear that can disable towers, I think is actually quite powerful for a Draven. So I'm going to go for my first proper gank of the game. Janna gets the slow, and we're going to commit to the kill. Enemy team obviously doing what they can to survive, and bonk, end up getting the assist, going to. And I was thinking here, like, do I just take this kill? But the thing is, it was a free kill. I was a bit nervous at the beginning. But yeah, giving Draven a kill, hopefully that will settle down his mental. in any regard. You know, he hasn't shown any signs of tilting. It's just a Draven player. So I think that is a good thing to do. Build-wise, again, cooldown reduction is, you could call it king on Volibear. When it comes to his W, obviously you get your initial W on somebody. They're a marked target. When you W them again, that's where you get the bigger damage and healing. So it's actually where cooldown is really important on this champion. And another kill for Draven there. So again, increasing the nice thing about ganking, obviously, bot. Now, the negative of going bot lane is the unfortunate thing is Nocturne sees me going bot and gets all the grubs. I go for a gank in mid, use my flash, don't give any time for that Viger to react. Very nice that Sylas obviously saw the synergy and went for it. And there we go. So, yeah. Sorry, I just got a message from Riot on my phone. We get two nice ganks at the beginning of the game. Again, Volibear he's known for doing okay in early game. I've now played, I don't know, 5 maybe games of Volibear in the last few days. So, you know, I'm not an expert, but I know the feeling of when I'm strong and weak. I'd say he's a mid-game champion, really. I think he falls off in late game as being a carry. He kind of becomes a distraction in late game. His early game isn't abysmal, don't get me wrong, but I think mid-game is when this champion really starts to be good. And I would class mid-game, you know, level 6 when you all have your ultimates. I'd say like level 6 to, you know, level 14, maybe even level 13. That's his power area. So once again, another fight. Draven does use flash. I'm going to come over and just use my E. Now, I was going to get that kill. It's better that Draven gets it, so I don't mind that Draven gets that. It was just helping secure it that someone was going to get it. So the nice thing is, obviously, we started that we were, what, 0-4 down. It's now 6-4, so the enemy team is still technically ahead, but at least we're recovering it. Sylas, though, looking for that kill on Mr. Viger. He does get it in the solo, obviously uses Nocturnal, and obviously one of the negatives of Viger, as someone that plays him occasionally, is really immobile. And something like Sylas that just gets up in your face, it really sucks for a Viger on average. And you know, yeah, his cage is a good tool. That's a long cooldown. You know, that might be like an 18-second cooldown versus Sylas's E, which will be like 8 seconds. So every time that Sylas is Eing, Viger uses cage. Sylas gets to do it again. I decide, by the way, I want to gank bot lane, but I want to be level 6. Because when you're chasing them and running them down, there's a good chance you'll run into the tower. So being level 6 for the next gank, I think, is the right thing to do. Sylas does overstay his welcome and actually gets solo killed by the Viger. So bounty collected for the Viger. There's my level 6, and I do say I'm on my way back. Again, naturally, Draven, if you're a jungler, should be an attention area for you because he's an early game champion that falls off. They've got Seraphine Senna, a double support lane that's very powerful. Gonna go for it though, see what we can do. Nocturnal obviously coming through. I did, by the way, think then get the Senna flash and still get the kill, which is nice. Gonna continue running. I did think about turning around then, but I'm like, nah, screw it, I'm gonna commit. So this, by the way, is a 2v1 double kill. Draven survives. Janna gets killed to the Nocturne, but the Draven, I think, killed the Nocturne in the tower. Viger's on his way down. But yeah, I got both of the enemy flashes as well. So I know Viger's here. So what I do here is just use my E. It slows him. That gives time for Sylas to make his way down. Obviously, I've done some damage to the Viger. So watch this, by the way. This Sylas damage is ridiculous. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa. I think there was a Viger ultimate within that combo that I didn't quite see. But that was insane damage. So I actually get another assist off that play. So we have ended the enemy team's lead when it comes to kills. They started the game 4-0. We are now 9-8. That's a really nice recovery. And obviously, without tooting my own horn, I think some of my ganks have been really pivotal of getting us back on track. We ganked, obviously, mid lane. That got Sylas's first kill. I ganked bot lane, got Draven his first kill. They, after that gank, then killed Seraphine themselves. So we've actually done a really good job in the early game here, which is nice. Part 2 or round 2 of the grubs are spawning, and you notice I'm in the area this time, so I kind of made sure I'd be in the area for these. I'm not a big fan of giving grubs for no reason. Obviously, that damage is crazy. And the enemy team has got 3. The happy number is 5. But, if you can get all 6, then it's amazing. So I've already denied them getting 6. I'm just going to keep on it. Just don't let them get it. My team's doing a great job zoning them out. You are seeing the Nocturne is wanting to get here, though. And what I'm going to be careful of is I don't have smite. Boom. A jump on top. Again, remember, that does do damage, so it's not a bad thing to go. I'm going to go a little bit crazy here and actually go for the engage. So I know Seraphine doesn't have flash, so we are going to end up with a kill on Seraphine. We're going to continue for the Shen, and we actually finishes him off too. So enemy team, and this is what people say. Meanwhile, Draven gets another kill on Senna, which is great. This is what people say is these grubby things, they're not worth throwing the game over, and they're not. They're strong, but they're not the end of the world. Even if the enemy team gets all 6, it's not an automatic loss. But so many games people throw or do bad because they're like, no, we need to try and get them. And it's something that I've definitely learned earlier when they got released a month or so ago. I was really on that. I was like, no, grubs. And there were times, if you watch my jungle games, especially back then, that I'd make odd plays because I was like, no, I don't want to give them grubs up. And that's exactly what the enemy team just did there. I've definitely relaxed a little bit more about them because, yeah, they're important, but they're not the end of the world. Dragon is spawning soon. So, again, I'm basically trying to get into that mentality. Right, we've done good early. What do I need to do now? Objectives. So, Dragon is spawning in 20-odd. The Seraphine is completely out of position. Like, again, genuinely have no idea why she's top lane. Dragon is spawning. She's the support. That's great teamfight prowess. Is top lane. So it's where, again, sometimes supports, they roam without real thought. And that's a good example of that Seraphine doing exactly that. So now we're straight on the Dragon. Don't give the enemy team any time to set up territory, vision, or anything. I'm just straight on it. And we will secure the Dragon for our team. Do have ultimate coming up in 3, so I am thinking I'm going to go do the Dragon and then go bot lane is what I think. But annoyingly, they're just diving and they get the kill anyway. So I'm like, oh, all right, okay. So there is obviously a ward that we can see there on the right. I'm going to invade because I know we're just stronger than the enemy team right now. I know I'm stronger than Nocturne right now. And here's the annoying thing, right? I'm going to go for the dive. The Nocturne comes through. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Should I have gone left? Should I have gone right? But lo and behold, the Sylas survives, which is good. I then re-engage on the Nocturne, who does, I would say, overstay his welcome a bit. I go for the ultimate, just denying the tower. I actually did that just in case the Nocturne flashed. Sylas gets the kill anyway, so that is a two kills for us, 0 kills from the enemy team. Seraphine also dies once again. She's not even level 6 yet, by the way. So yeah, this game is a great example of just because the real early game goes bad, it doesn't mean the game is over. Play to win, and a lot of people will lose their head after you're down 4 kills straight away. Again, I think a lot of Draven players also, when you die in the early lane phase, a lot of them stereotypically start raging and give up. Doesn't mean the game's over. I did some really nice ganks. I got my team back on track, and we're now kind of, let's be honest, stomping the enemy team at this rate. We still have AP Jax, who's not, I don't think, doing amazing, it has to be said. I can't remember what he's at the moment. He's like 0-3 or something. Or maybe he's got 1 kill by now. Oh, he's 1-5, sorry. I just checked. I saw the tab. He's 1-5. So he is just feeding. And he's not trying to feed. It's just AP Jax really sucks in the early game. And you should just play AD. I actually would say the Shen matchup isn't even hard for a Jax. Meanwhile, big play coming. 4v2 at the beginning of that fight. Draven goes in and goes for it. I then jump on the Nocturne. I actually end up getting the kill. And very nice, very nice. Sylas will go on and kill the Seraphine. So that is a 1 death, which is the Draven, and 4 deaths for the enemy team. As I said a few times, I'm starting to fist bump. And I would recommend that. It just spreads a bit of positivity. It gets that kind of teamwork aspect in solo queue. And I know people are like, oh, you could just turn on chat and talk to people. It's not worth it. The negatives of having chat on in League overtake, or they're much bigger than the positives. And I can, if you want to spread that positivity, the fist bump kind of does it. Positive emotes kind of do it. I actually used to be quite against, and people will remember, I used to be quite against emotes coming to League. It kind of, for me, cheapened the idea of the game. But I actually have grown to like them if you use them in a good way. I don't use them massively to taunt the enemy team like some people do. I use them to encourage and try to do a bit of positivity within my own team. And it generally does do stuff. It generally does work. So I'm going to go for the enemy Seraphine. The reason why I go for the Seraphine, by the way, this player is clearly tilted. Again, they're not really thinking things through. They were top lane for no reason. So making sure you just still kill that type of player, you're just keeping them in a concentrated tilt. And don't underestimate that. So, and then I'm going to end up going for red. Senna once again out of position. Shenot coming down. Draven's damage is simply too high. And yeah, very nice game, to be honest. This game was a quick one. There's the surrender vote. So yeah, as a little second video of the day, obviously, yes, I am bulk recording at the moment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I was obviously about to base to actually buy my item there, but I didn't get it in time. But yeah, really good. It does show for me, the reason why I want to upload this is because we had a terrible early game and the enemy team ended up surrendering in 15 minutes. A lot of people just wouldn't really think that. They'd be like, wait, you're losing really bad in the early game and you ended up winning. So it can happen. Keep your mental and it can happen. So again, another plus 18, which is not ideal. We go 605, only 5.6k damage. Not expecting an incredible amount of damage. Everything we went for, we did a bit of damage, got a kill or an assist, and that was it. We weren't actively trading, but once again, my objective damage is crazy. If you guys did enjoy, though, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal peace.